Hey guys, welcome back. It's Neon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And this is going to be one of two videos we're going to drop today dealing with Disney Parks drama.
Oh, yes.
And the Disney Parks PR nightmare that they're having right now.
Wait, they're having a PR drama? I didn't even notice.
Yeah, look at this. If you go out to Google News and you just type in Disneyland, you're going to see that it's filled with empty parks and fistfights in Toontown.
I know, it's funny.
That's where Disneyland is right now. So the first video, we're going to deal with this Disney Brawl. We actually didn't talk about it when it happened.
Mostly because, believe it or not, stuff like this happens all the time. I think the takeaway here is the amount of time it took someone to come stop it.
Yeah.
But their fights do happen often. This isn't a new thing, honestly, so we didn't cover it at first.
Yeah, we've actually seen altercations. I mean, it never really came to fisticuffs before, but
I love that word.
Fisticuffs, mouse-gloved fisticuffs, but we have seen a lot of screaming matches.
Yes.
We've seen people dragging their kids crying. We've seen people yelling at each other. We've seen people yelling at each other in multiple languages. We've seen kids jump in line and pushing past old people, almost knocking down old people.
Yes, there was a woman. It was like a Brazilian tour group or something, and they pushed past her, and I thought they were gonna knock this poor lady down. We had to make sure she was all right.
We had an incident when Pandora first opened where we were just walking into, we were actually going to breakfast. We weren't even going to ride the ride. We were going to eat breakfast, and this massive mob of people pushing and shoving, and this little girl actually tried to cut me off, thinking I was going to try to beat her to the ride. I wasn't even going to the ride. She tripped and fell, scraped her knee.
I think she broke her arm too.
She might have broke her arm.
I think they thought she broke her arm.
But she was trying to get around me, thinking I was going to the ride, and I wasn't going to the ride. I was just strolling along, we were going to have breakfast. We had our daughter got shoved. Speaking of Pandora, our son and daughter got shoved.
Yeah, he stopped short because they had a stroller and they bumped, they rammed the stroller. He stopped short, she ran into him, and then she went down and broke her phone.
Smashed her phone all up.
Yeah, had cuts all over her knees and her hands, and it was a mess because this woman was trying to beat them to Pandora with a stroller and cut them off. Don't even get me started on strollers.
I had a broken rib. Was it 2013, 2014? Mm-hmm. We were in the World Showcase, and again, it was a stroller. Mm-hmm. And they were going to run over our daughter, and she was pretty young at the time. She was like 5 or 6. And I went to move her out of the way, and they ran me with it. I tripped, I fell.
They ran in front of you, and you stopped short.
Yeah, I stopped short. I tripped. I fell. I broke my ribs.
You did.
At Disney, I had a huge scar up and down my arm.
You still have it.
I still have it. That's my Disney scar. So, I mean, yeah,
that's a battle scar.
I have seen fights, even when I was a kid, kind of break out at Disneyland. But I think the difference with this one, there's a couple things going on here. One is how long it lasted.
Yes.
Without, there were cast members there, but they didn't really seem to be doing a whole lot.
Well, to be fair, though, they might have a directive that they're not supposed to intervene. They have to call security because, then their cast members could get injured too, and then there's another lawsuit or whatever. So the cast members might be told not to intervene, just call for help.
What if somebody had a weapon?
They shouldn't be getting in with a weapon because that's usually caught.
Shouldn't be.
Oh, we're cutting each other off again. You better be careful.
Yeah, I know. We had complaints on the other video. People, we are married. Sometimes we cut each other off because we finish each other's sentences.
Sandwiches.
Just like I was thinking about.
Yes.
What was I thinking about?
Sandwiches. How much traffic sucks.
Yeah, we've got traffic outside our window, and it's bad.
But we do this often because we're married. And this is how we are. You
must be new to the channel. But we appreciate you watching anyway. Just know that sometimes when we get going, we tend to finish each other's sentences. But yeah, we've had a lot of incidents at Disney. I think the fact that it went on as long as it did. And right now, Disney's in like major freakout mode, PR freakout mode. And we're going to talk about this both in this video and another video dealing with Galaxy's Edge. That I've never seen Disney freak out as bad as they are this year. Like, they are majorly freaking out. And I really think that, them trying to maybe contain this situation caused it to blow up more than it normally would have.
Which we keep seeing even the pop culture things. They try to slap people down, and when they do that, all it does is make it 10 times worse.
Yeah, Streisand effect. So yeah, this is we've got a couple of stories. I love this one here.
These are funny.
Yeah, so the family denies the serious Disneyland fight ever happened despite the viral video, report says.
Clones?
Clones, maybe.
They were in Star Wars, not Clone Wars?
Yeah, I don't know. It's the Clone Wars. But they were in Toontown.
They were in Toontown.
So, the family involved in the Disneyland brawl that broke out in Toontown is denying that it ever happened, according to Fox 5 San Diego. Context. We need context because we haven't talked about this one yet. A Disneyland brawl went viral over the weekend, which I wrote about for the...
You didn't. They did.
Deseret News. A profanity-filled video of the fight shows men hitting men, men hitting women, and children watching them as the fight unfolds in Toontown outside of Goofy's Playhouse.
You see people in the background grabbing, like, this one lady looks like she's got 2 grandkids under her arm. She's trying to run away with her kids that weren't involved in the fight.
Oh,
they're trying to get their kids out of there.
So Anaheim Police Sergeant Darren Wyatt told Fox 5 the family was uncooperative.
Imagine that.
With police when they arrived on scene. At the time of the fight, there was no video, so police couldn't make any arrests for the fight. However, now that a viral video of the fight is widely available on YouTube, we're not going to play that during this video because knowing our luck, we'll get demonetized.
Just go find it.
It's not hard to find. Police intend to continue an investigation. According to NBC News, the Anaheim Police Department said everyone in the fight at the park is part of the same family. Yeah, you could tell.
Gathered.
You could tell. No charges were filed, police said, because the family wanted nothing done. In response to a tweet about the fight, the Anaheim Police Department said that the parties involved denied being involved in a fight. They're just working out their family differences with fists at Disneyland. There has to be an investigation. The parties involved all denied anything occurred, and we're not there to witness it. We were not there to witness this. The videos that were not available at the moment make things clear, and the case has been presented to prosecutors. The police department said.
Yeah, they had eyewitnesses. This is why you don't do this stuff in public anyway. Because everyone has cameras on their phone now. You're not going to get away with it.
I mean, to be honest, I think that's a lot of it. Like Disney, like you hear these like tall tales of, bad things happening at Disney parks, but up until recently, not everybody had a high def camera on them, on to be able to capture this stuff. I mean, a couple of people back in the day were walking around with camcorders. Mm-hmm. You get a Polaroid maybe, but mostly it was hearsay. Mm-hmm. Like you would hear that this bad thing happened. And for the most part, I'm going to be honest, Disney's very, very good at keeping bad news covered up.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's amazing what a little that mouse money can do to get people to keep quiet. And, up until recently, most people couldn't tweet about it or Instagram it. We were on a monorail that caught on fire.
Well, yeah, it was smoking.
It was smoking.
It sparked and smoked.
Last year...
no, it was a couple years ago.
2 years. Was it 2 years ago?
Monorail Blue.
Monorail Blue. I made the news on Monorail Blue.
He's on the news.
I was on the news because I was the guy that called and said, hey, your monorail's on fire.
We got trapped on the monorail leaving the Magic Kingdom on the way to Epcot, and we didn't get very far. It was far enough from the station, though, that we couldn't get back to it right away. And all of a sudden, it just started sparking and smoking, and then they cut the power because it was possibly on fire, and they didn't want to run the power for it. So we ended up sitting in there for an hour in the middle of the afternoon during a lightning storm. And we couldn't get all the windows open, so they actually have a way you can pop the windows out. People were actually popping the windows out to get air in there because not because we couldn't breathe, but because it was really hot. So we were on Monorail Blue. You trying to find it?
I'm trying to find the story on it. Yeah, because it was. I mean, this is another one that if they could have covered it up. Now, lucky.
It was a while ago.
It was 2017. Yeah. Lucky Disney. We were actually reporting for a Disney news site.
We happened to be on.
And I happened to live stream the whole thing. We live streamed the whole thing. So I can't find it. But yeah, it was an interesting situation. We weren't that far. I mean, if we had to jump, they could have got ladders or something.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. They just towed us back to the station. It really wasn't a big deal.
No.
Our kids were pretty scared, though. They were really scared.
It was very hot. It was like 110.
It was really hot.
Yeah, it was like 110.
When we got off the monorail driver handled it very well. He was very good about what he did and kept everybody calm. They got us back to the station, and they had Gatorades there, emergency vehicles there, ambulances, everything in case someone was hurt or whatever. And they took us where we needed to go on a special vehicle. When we got off, we were just ready to go to the next place. And of course, somebody got off and they started making the money symbol with their hands. They're going, "I want money, I want money."
Right, and that's where, okay, so that's why a lot of this stuff, I think, gets swept under the rug. Is because, it was an inconvenience. We were on the monorail for like 45 minutes, an hour, or whatever.
It was no big deal.
They gave us drinks. They gave us fast passes.
No one was hurt.
Nobody was hurt, thank God. But yeah, immediately, one of the families.
They were in a different car.
They were in a different car. They came out. They were right in front of us as we're waiting to get our fast passes and our drinks or whatever. But yeah, the guy's like, I want money. You gonna pay me for my time on the monorail?
He immediately came out looking at Disney, running for Disney people, making like that. You know, you can put your fingers like money.
Yeah, he was doing the money.
I was like, oh, for pity's sakes.
That wasn't even double chin.
No, we had a dollar. That's unrelated.
That was a different trip.
That was a different trip.
That was a different trip. Yeah, dollar double chin.
That was the name that Squid King gave somebody. It's
yeah, he was like middle management and entitled.
Of hookers. That's what. Anyway.
They were his daughters. Anyway, magical.
There's a reason.
Magical.
We just don't call people that for no reason.
Magical Disney
memories. They
memories.
called me names and stuff first, so there's a reason. Anyway,
so yeah, I mean, Disney's trying to downplay this obviously because they're like, oh my god, we don't like especially Disneyland. Disneyland is freaking empty right now. I mean, it's making the news for being empty. Two things. You Google Disneyland, in the news it comes up about the fist fight.
Look, this one's hitting her face right in the picture.
Yeah, the fist fight and the empty parks. I mean, this is not a good look. So yeah,
oh my gosh. It doesn't matter if it's the same family. You still had a brawl at the parks in front of everybody. And the cast members back here.
Look at the cast member.
I don't know what. I think he's trying to talk to somebody. That's why he has his hand up to his ear or something.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to ready for help. And I'm betting the reason you don't see the cast members intervening is because they probably are told they aren't allowed to. I'm not sure about that, but if I was a betting person, I'm thinking they're told, you know, because that's all I need is a cast member to get injured too. You know, I mean. Yeah,
and there was a big crowd. Everybody's got their cell phones out. So yeah, you're not going to be able to get away with this kind of stuff anymore. And Disney's got to realize that. But they're not the ones denying that it happened. It's the families denying
the family. I mean, you're on camera. I mean, come on.
Are they denying it though? Because Disney sometimes will place a lifetime ban on people that participated in violence or threats or whatever.
Or did things they shouldn't do against the rules.
Right. Or it could even be like a year-long ban. I know there are people who have snuck into cast member areas at Disney before, and they've actually been put on a ban list.
Yes, I was going to mention that.
Yeah, so they get up to the turnstile, they go to get in, they're like, nope, not going to work. You can't come in.
They have it on. They have you. I mean, trust me, on camera and everything. Because I know one time your band wasn't working right.
Yes.
And I happened to stand behind the cast member. They clearly were trying to not let me see what they were doing, but I could see what they were doing. And they actually had pictures of you at different places where you used your magic band throughout the park.
Yes.
Like when you came in, or just when you were walking down the street. So they checked several pictures to make sure you were you, and then they could see that, and then they fixed the band or whatever. But they had to verify visually that you were you. So they are tracking your butt.
That's what the magic bands are actually for.
But not just that. They had pictures of you in the street because they can track you by your band.
Right. Well, this is Disneyland, though. They don't have the bands. But now that these guys are on
that's true.
Camera, well, they're working on the bands out there, too. But now that these guys are on camera, I guarantee you Disney will be like, yeah, we don't want you in our parks.
Right.
You're not coming back into Disneyland anytime soon.
That was my point. The thing is that you try to say that's not you. They have pictures of you at Disney World. So I'm sure they probably do pictures by people.
Oh, I'm sure they have cameras all over.
But I'm just saying, if you can't, like, used to be in the day, they didn't have that technology, so you could probably just get in their ticket and never know you were you or whatever. Now they'll find out you're you.
This is funny. People had their cell phones out, so I thought it was a character walking around.
Yeah, there's some characters, that's for sure.
He unwittingly faded into a family altercation that turned into a brawl lasting 5 minutes. Wow. So yeah, I don't know. Disneyland doesn't need the bad press right now, but if they're trying to keep
Toontown.
To give Toontown. Nobody goes to Toontown.
Oh, Toontown had a lot of people in it when I was there.
Oh,
you weren't there you weren't there when we were there. You and
I was at a media thing.
Squid King. No, you and Squid King went and did something else.
Oh, we went in the submarine.
And I took
yeah, I think we went in the submarine.
Pinky Boo to Toontown because she wanted to go to Toontown.
Yeah, I think we were in the submarine. You didn't like the submarine. You don't want
I remember it from Disney World when I was a kid, and I was just like, eh.
It's still there.
Well, it's Disneyland.
Yeah.
Disney World, it's not. And
no.
I was just like, eh.
Yeah, it's not very comfortable for tall people. But anyway, Toontown, usually not very busy, although the whole park is kind of a ghost town now. So,
but the only reason we're covering this is because people ask us to, because honestly, it's really not that unusual for the occurrence.
Yeah.
Just that it got caught in video, and it was long until somebody can get there. I mean, I think that's a takeaway here, is how long it took to get help.
Yeah, and that's the concern. A lot of people are like, are they already cutting back on cast members?
Well, there's a rumor they are.
Because Galaxy's Edge isn't panning out. So are they diverting resources to Galaxy's Edge? Or are they laying people off, and now there are not enough cast members there to break out?
Well, that would be
to break up a fight. fight breaks out.
That'd be security anyway. I don't know. All I do know is it's really funny. If you go around to Disney fan boards and things, it's hilarious about people that I don't like to hear bad news. I'm waiting for everybody to jump on this. You just hate Disney, and all the apologists will come out of the woodwork. But when you go to these fan boards or something, if you just say anything like, I didn't like the bathroom, I didn't think the bathroom was that clean, there's like 30 people jump on you immediately telling you that you're full of crap, that all the bathrooms are immaculate, and every bathroom I've ever been, and you're just ruining the magic. You say things about how the strollers can be problematic. How dare you? You know what? You have a problem with strollers or whatever. And there's like they'll just ascend upon you like in droves. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
It's actually, I find it kind of frightening. I mean, again, we worked in the Disney blogosphere, and you know, we kind of refer to those people as pixie dusters, where they're basically like, Disney can do no wrong, to the point of it being ridiculous. Like, they actually, like, some of these people have actually gotten to the point of like thanking Disney for jacking the prices. Literally.
Yes.
They thank Disney for raising the prices because, thank God, Disney raised the prices to keep all the riffraff out. And they will actually tell you that.
Yes, they will.
Like, oh, my trip was more enjoyable because all the poor people can't afford to go to Disney now.
They will tell you that.
They will literally tell you this.
Most of them don't say that
no.
that way,
but
that's what they're implying.
But when they thank Disney for sticking it to them, they're clearly huffing the pixie dust.
Most people don't do that, though. That's a very small group. But yeah, it's like if you just complain about even the simplest little thing, like, you know, I was surprised to see this bathroom was dirty. Oh my gosh, you wouldn't even have to be negative about it. Just, I was really surprised to see that because it's not usually the case. They'll just come at you like, I mean, I didn't post this. I'm watching other people's posts. I mean, I never say anything either way, but I'm watching these posts come in and I'm like, what? They just said that the bathroom wasn't that clean this trip and they wondered why. We
did a couple of videos on the parks because, you know, we again, this is like the world we lived in for years. And we had people crawling out of the woodwork I've never heard of before. They're not Clownfish TV regulars. And they're like, how dare you? How dare you say, you know, you just can't afford to go to Disney World. I'm like, bitch, please.
We're one of the riffraff that need to be kept
Yeah, we're one of the
out,
we're some of the riffraff that need to be kept out. It's like, bitch, please. I've been there 3 times in a month before. You know, it's like, come on.
I know.
So yeah, anyway, interesting situation. Not a good look for Disney. Again, you go out to Google News and you'll see that if you just type in Disneyland, it's all covered with the fist fight and the empty park.
Right, which is bad. I mean,
right.
Disney's going to be stepping up stuff to take care of this, and they have to.
All right, so please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants here on Clownfish TV. This has been Neon and Geeky.
Bye.
Goodbye. Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.